I'm not a cop, not a ghost hunter, and definitely not the kind of guy who goes looking for trouble. I'm just an average guy, mid-30s, live alone in a small town in Ohio, work a boring IT job from home, and spend most nights binging horror stories online. But what happened one night last fall, a night I'll never forget, didn't come from a screen. It came from my driveway. And it still keeps me up at night. It was late October. The air had that crisp bite, and the leaves had started falling heavy. My neighborhood? Quiet. The kind of town where people still wave to each other and leave their porch lights on just in case a neighbor walks by. I live on the edge of town, near a stretch of woods that runs for miles. Nothing fancy, just a small, two-bedroom house with a cracked driveway and a flickering porch light I keep forgetting to fix. That night, it was about 2 a.m. I just wrapped up a horror podcast episode and was sipping what was left of my coffee when I felt something. A weird urge to look outside. No noise. No lights. Just a feeling. I walked to the front window and pulled back the curtain, and that's when I saw him. A man. Standing perfectly still in my driveway. He wasn't doing anything. Just standing. Head slightly down. Arms by his sides. Facing my house. He didn't move. He didn't flinch. And somehow, that was worse than if he'd been banging on the door. I stared for what felt like minutes. He didn't move. I grabbed my phone to snap a photo, but the screen just showed darkness. My porch light had finally gone out. Of course it had. I thought maybe I was imagining things. Maybe it was a shadow. A trick of the eye. But when I flipped on the hallway light behind me, his figure shifted slightly. Not toward me, just tensed. Like he noticed the change in lighting. I thought about calling the cops. But what would I say? There's a man standing still in my driveway? That's not illegal. Just weird. So I did the only thing that made sense. I stood there and stared back. My heart pounding. My breath shallow. And then I noticed something else. He wasn't looking at me. He wasn't looking at the house. He was facing away, his eyes fixed on the woods behind him. And the moment I realized that, a chill ran down my spine. Because that meant, he wasn't here for me. He was watching something else. Guarding it. Or worse, waiting for it. That's when I turned off the hallway light and slowly backed away. I didn't sleep that night. Just sat in my living room with a baseball bat, listening. Waiting. Wondering. He never came to the door. Never rang the bell. Never even moved. And by sunrise, he was gone. But that was just the beginning. Because the next night, he came back. Night 2, I prepared. Camera by the window. Motion light fixed. Phone in hand. 1:58 a.m. nothing. 2:04 a.m. nothing. 2:11 a.m. movement. Same spot. Same posture. Same man. But this time, something changed. He moved. Slowly. Not toward the house. Toward the woods. 3 steps. Then stopped. Like he was leading something. Or following something. I checked the camera, nothing but static. The motion light flickered once, then died. My phone froze entirely. Wouldn't restart for hours. I watched him until sunrise. He never came back to the driveway. Just stood on the edge of the woods. Then disappeared into the trees. By the 3rd night, I was losing it. I barely ate. Didn't sleep. I started hearing tapping at my window. Low whispers I couldn't trace. My dog, a normally fearless German shepherd, refused to go near the front door. Then I saw footprints. Clear, bare footprints across my driveway, leading toward the house. Not from the man, they were smaller. Different. Like something had come from the woods after he left. I checked my locks 3 times that night. Every creak in the house made me jump. I even moved to the back bedroom just to feel farther from the driveway. It didn't help. Because now, the knocking started. Not on the door. On the windows. First the kitchen. Then the living room. Always around 3 a.m. Always just one knock. Never caught anyone. Never saw anything. Just the knock. Just the silence. Until the 4th night. This time, I waited by the front door. Baseball bat in hand. All lights off. Phone recording. 2:57 a.m. silence. 3:01 a.m. knock. Loud. Deliberate. Right on the glass. I whipped open the door. Nothing. Not a soul. But in the middle of the driveway, the man was back. Only now, he was facing me. His face, pale, sunken, eyes hollow. Like a wax figure that had melted just a little too long. He raised one hand, and pointed. Not at me. Not at the woods. At the ground. I stepped back and slammed the door. Heart racing. I looked out again, he was gone. I checked the spot he pointed to the next morning. At first, it was just gravel and dirt. But then I saw it. Scratched into the ground, a symbol. A circle with 3 slashes through it. Like something ritualistic. Or a warning. I took a picture. It didn't save. I called the police. They came, walked around, found nothing. Suggested I see someone. Maybe a sleep specialist. I didn't blame them. But I knew what I saw. And I wasn't staying there another night. I packed a bag and left. Stayed at my brother's place 2 towns over for a week. Came back, the symbol was gone. Like it was never there. But the fear? That stayed. Every night since, I've drawn my curtains. Locked every door. I haven't seen the man again. But sometimes, around 3 a.m., I swear I still hear that knock. One knock. No more. No less. So if you ever see someone just standing in your driveway, don't open the door. Don't look away. And whatever you do, don't follow where he's facing. Because he's not watching you. He's waiting for something worse. If this story kept you watching, you're not alone. Thousands have seen the man. Some even sent me photos. They never save. They never show up on camera. So maybe this isn't fiction. Maybe it's a warning. Subscribe, like, and share, but only if you made it through the night. This has been another tale from Echoes in the Dark. Until next time, keep your lights on.